So real quick, here's a little look at what this project is. It's basically meant to be a RTS in the vein of Empire Ore, so the ships have individually targetable subsystems that can be destroyed and will affect the combat effectiveness and performance of the ships. And this is actually right now after a fight that I just had them do, but it's just a good example of that because I do have that fully working. So here's one that has no damage at all. All of its turrets here are A-OK, its engines as well. But this guy was not so lucky. These are placeholders, they're just cubes. But it's only got 2 or 3 of its turrets left and only 1 of its engines. And obviously with only 3 turrets instead of 5, that's going to limit the damage it can output. But then also, because it's only got an engine left, when I order them both to move into the same spot, this guy will very easily overtake it. This one is just kind of slowly but surely pushing itself along. So clearly not on its best performance. Right now these side turrets don't do anything. Ideally they will when it's like done, but I'm not really sure exactly how I'm gonna implement those, because if I just make them all like normal turrets right now, I mean, they'd have a short range, but that means that anything that gets within that range of these things would probably just be melted in like 5 seconds. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do with those, but yeah, they can be selected in groups and everything. As an example, I'll put a bunch of these around, and there's only 3 enemies, so they're gonna wipe the floor with them pretty quickly. Plus those enemy ships don't actually have enough range to do any, and yeah, there's 3 million missiles. So I just order them over here. Oh, that bloom. Yeah, the missiles are a little finicky right now, but basically, see that they move in a group and they stay separate. This pathfinding isn't perfect yet. There's still some kind of behaviors that they do really weirdly. Because this isn't really an ideal like RTS pathfinding. It's like the most bare bones way you could do it. But it's kind of a pain in the ass. So I just did something that worked well enough, and I think I'm just going to stick with that. So I also have some less stupidly powerful ships. In fact, I'll just hide all but one of them. In fact, I'll hide all of these and bring back some little destroyers that I have. Literally, this is the first ship I put into this. They also have missiles, but not nearly as many in a single shot. And these guys are a little more complete graphically as well. In addition to the glow, they have these little like particle kind of effects that come off the engine when they're moving, when they flick off. It's kind of small, but it's still detail. So I'm going to put them in range of these things so that they can actually like fight properly. The missiles right here, like I said, they're still very finicky, and if the thing that they targeted is destroyed, they'll still try to go after it, but because it's destroyed, it no longer has a collision, so they just spin around that little center point for eternity. So I will do some more of these over here, these enemy ships, which are supposed to be aliens. And I will bring back one of these. I also have the start of a system that will allow for basic control groups. So you could press Control 1, and then with anything you have selected would be assigned to Group 1. And then if you pressed 1, you would select all those ships. Right now, and ideally again that would be for every number, but right now I only have it set up for 1 and 2, but I can't example it right now because unless I build the project, Control 1 activates a hotkey within the Unity editor, so it just messes things up. which is really annoying for testing, because that means I have to build a version of it just to test that one thing, which is a pain in the ass. But yeah, these are supposed to have missiles too, but I haven't given them any yet. They also, the wrecks aren't really done at all. They're really just placeholder. It's in a really weird place right now, because I did a bunch of like post-processing and visual effects to procrastinate at the start of the project, but then I haven't like updated all of the placeholders yet, so it's in this weird like half-complete graphical state right now. But yeah, so these guys did pretty well because they have missiles and the other things don't. What I am going to implement before this is complete is some point defense. So these destroyers here are actually meant to be more focused on point defense, because these little tiny turrets are supposed to be for that. And so all the ships will have some form of point defense. So firing missiles at a really big group of ships might not be super effective, because they could just like intercept all the incoming missiles. Their point defense. And then also those enemy ships are going to have missiles too, so they don't just have like no effectiveness at all, right now, like they do right now. So this is basically it, but it is a lot of framework that I've been making, so I can actually get into the more detailed stuff. As far as like spawning in goes, I'm probably going to do something similar to Empire War, where you have the reinforcements, you pull them in and they kind of do their little FTL jump into the fight wherever you want them to be. And in fact, I'm probably not even going to have bases at all in any version of this. So it will just be whatever gives you the resources will make these guys move, because if they move a lot, it's a lot harder for them to be shot. This one only has one engine, and so does this one, so they're actually kind of in a worse off place right now. I'm gonna both fire at this guy, so they don't. Nice. But yeah, probably just gonna have some way that you'll get resources. Maybe it's little stations to capture, and then you would just pull in the ships, like, not immediately, you just have to wait for them to like show up, but for the most part you wouldn't have to like build them from a base. And then I don't know what the victory condition would be, but it's like a certain score or something, I don't know. Might be able, I actually have no idea what I'm going to do for that, to be honest, so. Just get a nice close-up of this little ship. Yeah, and also only that side's effects are on. I should keep moving. Okay, there it goes. Yep, that's pretty much all so far, so. But yeah, it's not much to look at right now, but there is a lot of scripts involved in making it work right now. So, yeah, it's not exactly light on scripts and anything, so yep. I'm not going to go through all that, because that would be too long. And just for the fun of it, I'm going to do something completely stupid in every way imaginable. And just have like a ton of these, so they can just dump insane amounts of missiles. Because what better way to finish things off than with severely performance-impacting numbers of missiles. There it goes. it also has not seen a huge amount of optimization, so I'm actually surprised at how like it's still kind of decently running well, given the fact that okay, yeah, the way they're programmed, will face their target after a short delay, so that way the missiles will fire up from where the launcher cells are, and then after a very short time they'll turn towards their target to give them a nice kind of arc. But because there's no target, they just never turn. So I wonder how this was going to work out. Oh my goodness, that was it froze. so many ships just trying to figure out where to put, and because there's like no optimization again. So yeah. They actually, they hold their formation like decently, though if I order them like sideways, then they're going to be like a column, so they don't like, their formation doesn't rotate, but yeah, who needs performance, who needs LODs, when you can just have copious amounts of bloom on your, on everything. That's what I say.